Hopefully this will be a short question. Between the three of you, it looks like you employ a minimum of probably 300 to 500 employees through your various businesses. You responded about the local regulations, but my question involves the Obamacare. How's that affected you, or how do you expect that to affect your bottom line?
We are closer to 500 employees. And I'm going to say, so far we don't know, because the healthcare program that we offered fulfilled the minimum requirements. Okay, so there's been little change so far. It's hard to tell how much price increase came anticipatorily from the Affordable Care Act, and how much might be just kind of our actuarial bad luck in a year or two. So we've had increases, but I can't, blame it all on, new regulations. So I think, our companies similarly are all sort of waiting to see what happens, because, the macro is, will there be enough young people who really don't need to buy insurance on the whole, but should have insurance? Will they buy in the numbers that's needed to make this whole plan work? That's the multi-million-dollar question. Because if they don't, then individual plans as well as our company plan will probably go up. If they buy, then hopefully it'll stay, closer to, the trajectory that it's been over the last 5-10 years.
I think there's two, this is always a touchy subject, but this is certainly not meant to be political when you're talking about business. This is a business forum. So I think I want to distinguish a point right off the bat is there's a difference from the argument of trying to help people get, particularly people who can't afford it, affordable health care in some capacity to help them. I don't think, myself, my brother, we would never want to see somebody would not be able to afford care that was in dire health, their health was in dire straits, so to speak. Having said that, you have to deal with the regulation as a business, and you've got to look at it honestly. Our company, at peak usually is around approximately 90 people, and one of the challenges is, so we're trying to understand what things like full-time equivalent mean, and determining whether we are going to be subject to the employer mandate fines, and whether that is, that applies to us and how much of the penalty would be. Our situation, I spoke last year a little bit about, is unique in the sense that it's challenging where Mesquite is located, because we've got some folks that, Arizona, I think you can tee off on the 14th tee and turn around and turn backwards, probably hitting it in Arizona. And you can drive and you're in Utah not too far away. So we have a few folks that are up in St. George. And so just because it's a federal law, a lot of just the challenges trying to understand Arizona, Utah requirements, and Nevada, just in that alone on the business front. And in talking, in our team, we've got two ladies who just do, they do a fabulous job. In fact, I hope I'm not embarrassing Kathy Bussman and Shauna Cuddies, who are in HR, but I'm just going to mention them. We've had an outside CPA firm. These gals have done the best breakdown of Obamacare, at least or the Affordable Care Act, as I have seen. The big issue is just the change in constant moving the line. As a business, you just want to plan and know what the rules are in order to do it. Unfortunately, this law constantly does change when you're trying to understand how to navigate it. From a business perspective, not a personal perspective, I want to make this clear, of helping people out, there's two distinguished ways. I'm not sure thus far it's very clear on how we best navigate the law. At times, from our perspective in planning, it's frustrating at this point in time. That doesn't mean that helping people, we're all for helping people in the best way. We just want to know how we do that. And once we know that, then we can react from a financial perspective. One of the things I mentioned last year that is a concern that I wish that was somehow struck if you could do it, is the operating expense line item, just if you're, which a lot of people don't talk about, is that it would add to a cost to a small business, meaning Wolf Creek, believe it or not, to a lot of folks is categorized as a small business, maybe not in this community. But anytime you add potentially 50,000 or 75,000 or 25, when we go talk to our lender, you know, that counts in terms of, they usually have requirements that you have to show a certain profit margin. And that is one of the concerns I know we had, was just how that would impact it. When we have a capital expense, if you know anything about accounting, you don't really have to count that, even though it's real money out of your pocket when you buy a new tractor, and, or you go, you know, buy, you know, white sand bunkers and stuff, you can, you know, that doesn't count. But it's those kinds of things that, you know, we have to pay attention to that cause us concern. Not as much, you know, we pay attention to those. It doesn't mean that we don't care for people and want to have them have the best health care at the most affordable price. But when we're looking at business, we're saying, how do we, when we're having our strategic meetings every year, what's this impact? Who does that potentially affect? How is our lender going to view this? If we had this extra cash, could we go, you know, support, you know, this capital improvement, this charity, this something? I mean, there is, in our world, a real life sense. If that changes and it's possible, that would be great. We just don't know what we're ending up with, and I'm hoping that will be clear. I hope that, you know, our government will give us that clarity so we can react accordingly. I hope that answered your question. That's